And we're in the new year. Happy January the 1st and Happy New Year. Um, Today I'm presenting my 2020 intentions. First of all, the first one is to determine that this is the year of the stash. And thankfully, Christy Cook of Teadoddles has just started a new group for, I think it's called Happy Scrappy Yarn Challenge. Don't quote me on that, but I'll provide a link for that and to Christy's channel, Teadoddles. I'm looking forward to that because I got a lot of scraps and I'd like to use them up, get rid of them, and I'm getting tired of making just scrap blankets, you know. I'm looking for something else to do. So I'm hoping that these two ladies, Christy and Christy can get things together and help us get rid of some of that stash. And since I'm declaring it year of the stash, of course that means I'm going to work through my stash. Now we all know I will probably fail on this, but my intention is to work from my stash first. And, you know, last year I did get the yarns that I had documented and I kept up with that. Now I'm looking to tomorrow, where I am going to organize that stash by color, you know, like reds and pinks, purples and blues, greens, brown and tans, white and blacks, you know, that kind of thing, so I can find them a little bit easier. And I will tell you, my system that I have is basically I have totes that are numbered 1 through whatever, and I have listed in each tote what is what. So I'm hoping to kind of coordinate that a little bit better so that, you know, if I purchase red yarns, it's going to go into the red bin, those kind of things, and work out of those. I am going to attempt to work on all of those whips. Cheerzilla. And I'm actually going to decide whether I want to frog or finish them. Now that pretty white sweater, I have been working on that a little bit at a time. Like I said, it is a Japanese cable. It is an edging that is used, so I'm going to get working on that. The other thing is to work on editing skills. I do minimal editing, and I'm looking forward to doing a little more. I'm learning a little bit more as I go, so I'm looking forward to doing that. The other thing is to work on tutorials. I have quite a list of tutorials that I would like to get done, but I just haven't done them. Partly because my sewing room where I film those is a disaster area. It had a ton of stuff all over the table. So yesterday my main goal was to clean off that table for the most part. I do have a bin on the end of the table that has a lot of yarn that I'm planning on working for new project bags, little zip pouches, and things like that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those tutorials up. I am also working on a blog website. That I'm hoping to be able to put patterns up, you know, the freebie patterns, because I no longer use Ravelry. So since I don't use Ravelry, I need to be able to put those up someplace else where the ones that I've done free, that people can get those free, and then a link to the patterns, you know, that I have paid patterns. And along with that, I have a lot of patterns that I need to get written up, and what I mean by written up is typed up, so that they can be put out there and so that I can actually ask testers to test them and then put them out there. The other thing I need to do is I need to get my journal started. I have a couple of journals that I use to keep up with things. One of those is for the podcast itself, for, you know, what goes on in the podcast, shout outs, those kind of things that I've done. I didn't keep up with that last year, and there were some people I couldn't remember if I shouted out or not. So that's part of it as well, to keep track of that. And keep track of the items that we're doing, things that are going on. The only thing I won't keep track of are the stories for the What in Tarnation, because those come so fast and furious that, I mean, you can't make this stuff up, some of it. So I need that to get finished, a prayer journal. And then I also need to get a journal that is specifically for the prayer shawl group and for the breast prosthesis program, so that I know for the prayer shawl group, when I've turned in the receipts that need to be reimbursed to me for the yarn that I've purchased, and then also, when I turn them in, when it's there, and what each month goes through with the prayer shawl, as well as with the breast prosthesis. Breast prosthesis is a combination of finance and supplies, basically. I don't document when I give people out, people's names. When I give out those prostheses, generally what I do is I just keep a running tab of the prostheses that I have on hand by size, and then those that have been given out by size. And that is the only thing that I keep up with as far as the breast prosthesis. The only other goal that I have, intention, is to read the Bible in its entirety. I've read the New Testament and parts of the Old Testament, but I would like to read the Old Testament in its entirety. And as many of you know, if you've ever read the Bible, it does take about a year to read completely through. So I'm doing that along with my Bible study and my prayer journals. That is it. Next Monday, I will be telling you about the cow. I have some resources that I will also be listing that will be for the download. And I will have made my final decision on how I'm going to film that. Because I'm looking at a couple of options to see what will work the best. And so I'll let you know about those. Because one of the main things is I also need to be able to document, to record it, as well as to be able to do it either live or semi-live. And that semi-live is a kind of interesting thing, because Periscope, I'm finding, I have not determined whether you're able to record it so that it can be put up on YouTube for someone to use at a later time. So that is the biggest thing that I'm trying to discover with the Periscope. But that's it. Those are my intentions for this year. Join me this year as we see if I actually am able to keep those. And like I said, the good thing about intentions is they're intentions. Goals seem to be more committed. Intentions are a little flexible because you can reevaluate those as you go and maybe change it up, add to it, take away from it, those kind of things. So I will see you again Monday. Everybody have a great week and Happy New Year.